Hey Capricorn, today I'm going to be doing your reading for January of 2017. Um, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you're not sure um, where Capricorn is in your chart, besides your sun placement, like it might be your rising or whatever, I'll leave links in the description. Now, this is a general reading. So that means it might show up as like a love reading or whatever, but I'll try to keep it as general as possible, touch on as many threads as I can. And not all messages will resonate. So yeah, let's get started. I let the cards fall out naturally or flip out naturally. So yeah, let's get started. And I already shuffled the cards, by the way. Capricorn, January 2017. A happy birthday, by the way, to the Capricorns that are born in January. Capricorn, January 2017. Sun, Moon, and Rising. Capricorn, January 2017. Sun, Moon, and Rising. Capricorn, January 2017. Where are the messages? Spirit. Capricorn. Sun, Moon, and Rising. January 2017. Okay, so the card at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant, Major Arcana. So right off the bat, the sort of energy I'm getting is that probably most of you are either getting in touch with your more spiritual, religious side. Some of you might be getting married. Some of you might be joining an institution, a government institution, or just any sort of body that's just organized. So you might be joining some sort of organized institution or group or something. This could also be a message of just putting your faith into something that's outside of you, reconnecting with, again, your spirituality or whatever religious beliefs you have, and getting in touch with that. So at the center of your reading, we have the Five of Pentacles reversed. So I see some of you are coming out of a situation wherein you felt like you were, again, this card is always described as being, left out in the cold. But I also see it as like worthlessness, poverty. So maybe your finances are looking a little bit better going into the new year. Maybe since it's around your birthday time or something, for those of you born in January. You might just be feeling probably better about yourself in a way that you haven't felt in a long time. And if that isn't the case, this card is really asking you to open up and see the possibilities around you, the promise around you. Because when this card is reversed, it's like the worst is already past. And we're ready to move on from that. So that's what I feel like that card is asking. Why would that be? Well, we have the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Swords reversed. So, yeah. There was an ending to something. There was an end to a really messy situation. Somebody was found out. You knew somebody was lying about something, or you were involved in some sort of... You were involved in a situation wherein somebody was just... It was outright deception. When I see the Seven of Swords reversed, I see this person as being found out. Upright, they're able to get away with their sort of conniving sort of energy. Reverse, I always see like there was a confrontation. Somebody was called out on their BS. And with this Ten of Swords, you've had to deal with the aftermath, the betrayal, the pain, the heartache. This is an ending. This guy is dead. I mean, yeah, he's dead. So if you haven't gone through this situation, it's happening. Or you will find out about the situation and you will have no choice but to put an end to it. But I feel like for some of you, you've been aware of this. This is something that's been causing you to feel like you're worthless. So maybe it was like Pentacles, that's material. So either it was a bad work situation with the Hierophant here, it could have been a marriage, or it could have been you were dealing with somebody that you work with. Somebody whose presence just took away that, they really hurt. It was a blow to your self-esteem, essentially. Try not to rock my computer too much because I always have my arms up here, but anyway, I don't want to get people seasick or whatever. So yeah, you're coming out of that situation, or this situation will end. It has to end. There's no way for it but to end. I'm really getting that for some of you was a marriage or a work situation where the ending, there's an end to it, or an ending has to happen. With the Ten of Swords, tens being completion in numerology, 1 + 0 = 1, a new beginning. It's an ending and a beginning. People always point out that, the sun is coming up in the background. That there is a positive thing with this. We only go through these periods of being betrayed or being backstabbed just so we can come out better. And I feel like there is a situation here. This situation is allowing you to come out of that better. So in your foundation, we have the Two of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Hermit. Yeah. Okay, I'll start with those of you that are in relationships. Some of you are just dealing outright with somebody that you're either married to or that you're dating. Somebody that you have like a soulmate, like love connection with that totally just was lying to you. And you have to go deep within yourself and ask yourself the questions you didn't want to face up to. And I feel like there's a lot of ways. And I feel like you probably asked yourself, if you're coming out of a situation, it wasn't easy. You had to ask yourself all these questions. But for some of you, you have to go deep and not confuse yourself or blind yourself to how you feel, how you're supposed to move forward from what has happened or what is happening. If it's not with regard to a partner, it's probably with a creative endeavor. Or it's with work. Where you're probably lying to yourself about you really being committed and really being devoted to what you're working with or what you're working toward or where you're working. The Hermit is asking you, the universe is asking you, it being a major arcana, to really go deep and to really, the Seven of Cups, there's a million options. Well, 7. And they're not all good options. This could be blinding yourself to the only option. It's like information overload, sensory overload. You're thinking about things way too much, but then again, you're not really thinking about it. You're sort of blinding yourself to some sort of things. You're blinding yourself to the truth with the Seven of Cups. I just want to see what's in the past. 3 of Cups. Okay. So one message I'm getting, excuse me, is that the fun times are over. If you're dealing with somebody, if you're in a relationship, if there wasn't a third party, if there wasn't somebody else involved in this situation, I feel like the situation has ended because somebody woke up to reality. I can easily see this as like a couple together that, drinks too much or parties too much with the 3 of Cups. Then all of a sudden you're realizing like, wait a second, I have no money. I can't afford to party anymore. What's going on? Or, somebody easily, I can also see this as like somebody in the midst of being drunk or in the midst of providing a playful atmosphere, somebody was able to go and do things behind somebody's back. I can also see something is causing you disillusionment. Maybe you feel like the person you're with, again, if you're in a relationship, you were uncertain about their intentions. Maybe you felt like what y'all had was real, but they're doing something suspicious. And you don't want to call them out on it because you might feel like it's a threat to. It'll be a threat to either your marriage, if you're married. It'll be a threat to just your sense of stability. It'll be a threat to your worth. But you have to you have to try to find clarity in this situation. Something here is asking you to look clearly, to assess your emotions. You know, Capricorn, I don't want to say most of you guys are like emotionally closed off. You know, it depends on your moon and all that stuff. But, you know, sometimes if something is practical, you'd rather deal with it instead of dealing with it on an emotional level. If something works, it just works, regardless of how you feel about it. But, you know, sometimes you have to ask yourself, you know, how do you feel? How do you really feel? What is this situation making you feel like? Because I feel like with this Five of Pentacles reversed, either, you know something's wrong, you know something's off with your sense of worth, your the whole foundation, the stability of this relationship, of this situation. You know something's off about it, but I feel like you're probably blinding yourself to it. You're blinding yourself to the ultimate truth in this situation, just so you can sort of maintain this this facade of stability. Because you might be involved in a creative endeavor, or you might be in love with somebody and you don't want to end it, even though you might be working with some shady people, or the person you're married to or the person you're dating is really shady. But, you know, y'all have so much fun together, or what this situation is fun for you. There's a lot of joy. You get a lot of joy from being in this relationship or being in this line of work. And it provides stability. You feel like you have a sense of belonging. The Hierophant is ruled by Taurus, but it represents very Capricorn, Saturn things, which is conformity, traditions, institutions, just external stability, the patriarchy. You know, and maybe a few of you, if you haven't opened your eyes to a situation, some of you are now realizing that, wait a second, this needs to end. This needs to stop. But you have to think clearly about the situation. And crowning you, here's you, the devil. Yeah. Yeah, you know you are bonded to something. And you know that it has to end. It just has to. But you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you're deluding yourself, or you're convincing yourself that it's working because it provides foundation. Whatever the situation is. Again, a marriage, a job situation. The devil rules everything that we are indebted to, for good and bad, like work, work, a marriage, things that we're bonded to. If it's not an addiction, it's like an obligation. Like the devil, I have to go to work, and I have to go to school, and I have to take care of my kids, and I have to do it all. That's what the devil is. There is a situation here that you just feel like hopelessly, and I don't see, because the devil is represented or ruled by Capricorn, I don't see you as, okay, I see for some of you, you're having a good hold on this. You're ending a situation because you woke up to the fact that whatever is happening is making you feel like you're dead inside. So you're like, okay, this isn't right. I have to overcome this, cut out all the shady people in my life, end it. But I don't even see you coming to that conclusion easily, especially if it's a love relationship, or if it's something that you're just creatively attached to. If it's something that you've invested a lot of your emotions into. But I really feel like whatever the situation is, for those of you that haven't ended it, but I feel like you know what it is, ask yourself the hard questions. The Hermit is begging you, is ruled by Virgo. If this isn't a Virgo in your life, like, you're probably with a Virgo, or you have like a Virgo best friend who sees this and is bringing it up to you, and you're probably just ignoring it, like, oh, well, but you're blinding yourself to the situation with the Seven of Cups. If you can, there, Seven of Cups. The there's something that some of you really need to open yourself up to. And I'm really feeling like with the Hierophant and the Devil here, it's an entrenched obligation. Like it's something that you have carved yourself into. Because that's what Capricorns do. Like I see y'all as like you pick a track and you stick with it, especially if it works. And maybe with some of you, you think this works, even though it doesn't make you feel good, even though it causes you a lot of mental anguish. If it's just painful. But I feel like with this in reverse, the Seven of Swords, you guys, y'all know what is not working. Swords represent communication. I feel like some of you know that you have a sneaky Pete in your midst. Maybe you're in love with this person. But I'm just going to ask you guys to just please open yourself up to... Open yourself up to the truth. Open yourself up to, you might think there are a million different ways to end this. Or there's only a million ways, or there's only one way, to get out of this. And for some of you, you're going to continue going along as you do, blinding yourself. But I feel like with some of you, you're really going to end it. You're really going to take that time to go inward and see what the truth is, because you're like, I don't deserve to feel like this anymore. I don't deserve to feel like I'm a piece of shit. I'm not going to have people just talk mess around me. I don't care about, again, there's so much love here, but I feel like some of you are going to choose to, put yourself first, which is amazing, which is always good. It's not bad, especially when there's a situation that's hurting us. And I feel like you guys are hurting from a situation. And I really feel like if some of you, with this Two of Rods in reverse, some of you don't want to take that leap. Or if you do decide to take that chance, you don't know what's next, what's coming for you. You don't, Capricorn, again, you guys love just stability. You guys crave stability, all earth signs. You won't go into something unless you know that you have, unless you can safely navigate through it. If you don't have a foundation to start a new life upon. So what this card is really asking you to do is just, if you guys, not to make a hasty decision, again, that's not in your nature, Capricorn. So I do feel like for some of you, you're reanalyzing this situation wholeheartedly. You're just like, okay, what's not working? How can I get rid of it? And what plans can I do, or what plans can I make to take that next step? For some of you, I feel like moving on isn't even an option. You're not, again, I see the Two of Rods being in reverse as being just like helpless. And I just see this as like a cycle, especially with the Devil crowning all of this energy, is just a cycle. A cycle that you sort of put yourself in, a cycle that that you're just allowing yourself to have. And the Devil isn't always bad. Probably you're working too much. Or you're taking on way too many responsibilities that, it's just, you're dead tired at the end of the day. You're not having as much fun as you used to. And maybe now for some of you, you probably met somebody new and that just sort of added a whole different sort of thing to your life. And you're like, wow, so I'm working 5 jobs and I'm in love now. What am I doing? And I feel like some of you just aren't, you're just going through the motions. You're not allowing yourself, some of you aren't allowing yourself to really break free from this cycle. And I feel like for others, you're really reanalyzing this in a practical way. and you're going about it in a diligent, efficient sort of way. You're done with the mental anguish, and you're like, okay, well, I can do this, 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 or this, while having these responsibilities. So what do I have to trim? What do I have to let go of in order to take that next step? So in your environment, we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Some of you just totally feel hopeless. Some of you aren't seeing the possibilities of all of what's available around you. Or you're looking at what's available to you, like, you know, any opportunities that you have, or any sort of any sort of like promises or whatever, I guess. Any sort of promise, you're not. It doesn't exist to you right now. What I really feel like, I just feel like some of you are just really, you just feel really beat up right now. I just really feel like you feel oppressed. I don't mean to laugh, but it's just that some of you just feel like you feel the weight of the world on top of you. But with the Nine of Rods, sorry I didn't show these cards, but I have the Nine of Wands here. And I also have the Emperor. I realized I forgot to pull a card. But it's fine. I think enough cards fell out. So I feel like some of you just aren't, you know, and again, it's easy for a Capricorn to only see the downside of things. You guys being ruled by Saturn, the planet of boundaries, restriction, and the energy itself of Saturn is very pessimistic. And Saturn is in Sagittarius right now, so some of you probably feel like just limited in your opportunities for expansion. But you guys, for some of you, there are avenues that you haven't considered for how to get through what it really seems like this is a very tough, the past year has been hard for everybody, but I really feel like with you guys, you just feel like there are so many obligations. There's so many people to please. There's so many things to do. There's so many, I don't want to say options. I feel like you guys I feel like you guys feel like you're stuck. But you're tough throughout it with this Nine of Wands. This guy he's battling. And he's, again, Capricorns are tough. The Emperor as the outcome, I see it two different ways. I see it as you guys submitting to this power in order to bide your time, or submitting just because you have to, or because you feel like you have to, or because, there are so many obligations that you are dealing with right now that, why try to overcome them when it's easier to just deal with them? But I really feel like for some of you, you're going to take control over. You're going to take control over how you're running your life. Because I really see like sort of several stories here. For some of you, you're coming out of a terrible situation that you ended because somebody was untruthful, or a situation was, you realized, was just like not on the level. And it wasn't an easy decision. And it's a decision that you're probably still thinking about, that still requires some contemplation. So you're planning. You're like, where do I go from here? What do I do with this information that I've gained? Where do I go? How do I take that further? And then I see you guys taking action. For some others of you, I feel like you're just trapped in an illusion. You're not, something around you, you don't feel well. But I feel like you're probably not even assessing why. For some of you, it's because whatever you're involved in just works on some sort of level, on a practical level. Whether it's work, whether it's a marriage, whether it's just a relationship or a creative endeavor that you've just sort of became fused with. You're like, well, it works, even though you might have some sort of confusion about it. And it's just not, you don't see an end in sight. All you know is that at the end of the day, you just feel battered and bruised, and you're just like, I see some of you thinking like, what am I doing this for? For you guys, I see that you have to, again, go back in, assess your feelings. It might be practical, whatever you're involved with, but, are you actually being valued? Is there worth attached to what you're doing? Do you feel complete on the inside? So yeah, I'm going to pull one more card. Did it itself? Oh, there's two. Just for advice, we have the Knight of Swords, and we have the King of Rods. So, right off the bat, if somebody's gonna, okay, I see again two different ways. The court cards, they can always be seen as people. Some of you might be dealing with somebody that has, someone that's probably pretty young, that has a lot of air energy. They're probably a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius. It's going to come in and really shake up your perception of how you're seeing things, how you're viewing things. Or some of you might be dealing with an older fire sign that's really going to be a helping hand. A fire signs being Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. But I feel like, it's going to be a helping hand with you navigating through this. So I feel like these people, if they're not, again, gender doesn't matter in general readings for so many of y'all. So these could be male or female. But some people are going to really come in or, help influence you to see things differently. Excuse me. Or I can see these as you guys, these energies as y'all taking on these energies to really fight through whatever this is. You're going to be this Knight of Swords. You're going to power through this betrayal, this heartache. Or with the King of Wands, you're going to seriously rise above the situation and come into your own, at least in terms of using your sort of passion, your desire to really get to where you want to go. And it's not going to be an easy road. It's not going to be an easy road, but I feel like there is help around you. There's something within y'all too that's it's really just, I feel like, going to get y'all to where y'all need to go, regardless of all of this stuff that you're just in the midst of. So yeah, I really hope that reading resonated. I hope it helped. If it did, like or comment or subscribe. I'm pretty new to YouTube, but yeah, I enjoy doing these, and I hope I helped. So thank you guys so much.